as I was saying, I did a mixture of kind of subjects in school and stuff like that. So your typical kind of school experience. And then, so my application experience, I originally applied via UCAS for 5 different universities. When I attended kind of my school, it was the protocol to kind of just get everybody to apply for uni, and whether they wanted to go to uni or not. I applied with some support from my school, but they didn't really go as far as like guidance to where kind of you would get like opinions on what uni you should choose, what type of uni would be right for me. I didn't really get a lot of guidance on that. So I originally chose 2 other universities for my firm and insurance. So I decided I want to go to Lancaster and I decided I want to go to Chester. So for my first choice uni, I didn't meet the grade requirements, which I can imagine. You can imagine at like 18, that is something that people would describe as like devastating. For me at 17, it was. So I didn't meet the grade requirements, and then I decided to go to my insurance. It didn't take long in my insurance uni for me to decide it wasn't for me. It was in the matter of a couple of weeks, to be honest, to a month. I just wasn't enjoying myself. I wasn't enjoying what I was studying. I didn't like where I was living. So I decided to transfer to Hope. I decided that for a mixture of reasons, really. I was aware of Hope through my school. I wanted to be a little bit close to home, and Hope decided they wanted to give me an offer. So I transferred to Hope about a month in. So I was about a month behind when I joined. So the course I chose, I originally just wanted to study English literature. So that was something in all of my university choices that I decided I'm just going to do English literature. But when I decided to transfer, I had to look at Hope's website and saw kind of the different combinations that Hope offered. And I decided I wanted to study something else alongside English, because I found the actual subject to be a little bit heavy, very, as you can imagine, reading based. So studying media allowed me to gain another skill and kind of take a little bit of the heaviness away from the English. So I studied English literature and media and communication, which worked out great, to be honest, because both subjects fed into each other. It gave me more transferable skills. It let me explore skills I didn't realize I've had in professional settings, and it got me lots of actual hands-on experience in another subject, which is great for Hope to offer so many subject combinations, because you might discover something that you didn't know you had a passion for, or you might be interested in 2 different things and don't want to have to really choose between kind of the 2 things that you love, which is great that I hope they offer kind of as many combinations as you can think of. So why Hope? So Hope is a very supportive environment that still allows you to flourish. So I hope we are quite small. There's 7,500 students currently, which in comparison to some other big universities, we are quite small and compact. That really appealed to me, especially considering I was coming a little bit late to Hope. It was just really nice because as soon as I got there, it was like I'd settled in. It was quite small, but not too small that it was suffocating. And there was nice home vibe to it, which I loved. You're valued as an individual in as your studies. So whilst I studied at Hope, I got to know kind of lots of different members of academic staff. My personal tutors, specifically in media, they all really got to know us kind of as a person, and got to know what you like, what you didn't like, and that was really helpful because you didn't just feel like a number, which is something I originally struggled with when I joined my original university. So you are valued as a person rather than just a number. You also get a university campus experience whilst living in a city, which is great because you get the best of both worlds. You get kind of the relaxed, grassy settings, kind of nice and tranquil when you want to be, and somewhere to kind of really focus on your studies. And then you kind of, if you wanted to go into the city and experience that really bustling city life, you can do, and then you get the opportunity to kind of choose whether you want to live in the city or in the suburbs in your 2nd and 3rd year. So it really is the best of both worlds. You get to experience both sides and decide which one's really for you. You also develop genuine connections with students and staff that become beneficial when transferring into work. So I got the opportunity to do lots of different internships and placements within my course. And I also got to kind of really understand the staff that I was interacting with and my lecturers, kind of where their expertise were. And that's proven great as being a graduate. A lot of it is based on connections. So kind of, you always hear the phrase, it's not what you know, it's who you know. But Hope are really good with kind of facilitating genuine connections. And they are really supportive even when you leave. So much so that I got a job at Hope, and I'm now still here 4 years later. So they must be doing something right if I've stuck. So my Hope experience, I discovered a new subject I loved, and I'd never done media before, didn't really know what it was about, and I just discovered something that I'm really passionate about. When I first moved, I had a friend who was already in the Musical Theatre Society, and she said, "Oh, come along," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was a little bit timid at first because joining such a new place and not knowing anybody is quite daunting. But as soon as I joined musical theatre, I knew it was going to be all right. Because I met lots of people who had the same interests as me. Kind of got me out my shell a little bit. So it was kind of, I joined in the October, and by the November, I was already like in a musical theatre show. So that was really beneficial to my Hope experience because I got to meet all these different people who were doing different subjects to me, who had different backgrounds to me, but we all kind of bonded over a unique experience, which is why Hope really encourage students to join a society or join a sport and get out there and get to know people outside of your course. So as I said, I had loads of internships and job opportunities within both in media settings and also just as a student at Hope. I worked in the Capstone Theatre on the creative campus, so I got to see lots of shows for free, some great, some not so great. Lots of kind of throat singing, really odd things I had to sit through. But it was really great to kind of have a job on campus that got me kind of experience either half the campus, but also I was getting paid for it, and they were really flexible about jobs. I grew my confidence as a person within my studies and outside of my studies. So I don't think I would be kind of the person I am if I wouldn't have studied at Hope. It really helped me come out my shell and decide what I like, decide what I'm interested in. And I created lots of memories I wouldn't have. So we've performed the Addams Family in musical theatre. I have abseiled with uni. I have gone on different kind of trips. I've done internships in big companies. Really just stuff that I wouldn't have had the opportunity to if I wouldn't have gone to Hope. And I am really grateful for that. So my goals for the future. So I'm currently working in student recruitment. That is what I am doing now. So that is kind of where my now is. And I really love it because I get to connect with students like you. I get to kind of share my story. And I hopefully want to develop my skills in social media and communication. Just really getting to know students. But I'm hoping to do a PGC primary course in 2022 to hopefully become a primary school teacher. And that was kind of something that I hadn't discovered I wanted to do until being a Hope. It was originally something I was like, no, I don't want to be a teacher. But it has really, my time at Hope has helped me discover that is really what I want to do, which is great because I get to kind of experience Hope as a student, and then kind of go through student recruitment, get to know that other side of it. And now hopefully looking to come back and study PGC here as well. So it must have done something right to kind of keep me here for so long. But yeah, that is kind of my student experience. It's not very conventional. It's not kind of what you would expect for your average student experience. But I am kind of happy that I did come to Hope. If you have any questions for me, or for Jess, or they're just kind of currently muted, you can pop them in the Q&A function and we'll kind of help you understand what it's like to be at Hope from like a student experience. So yeah, that was pretty much my student journey. So in terms of Jess's, if you want to share your screen, I can kind of read it out.
I rejoined. No, still nothing.
Not that you do that either. No. Oh God.
Oh wait, no, wait. Well, no, wait.
Just give us a couple of minutes. We'll get it. Oh, It's loading. It's thinking about it. Okay, it's come up. Lovely. So I'll read through and I'll kind of do my best. But we'll see. Okay, so this is Jess's student
I
journey.
don't understand how this isn't working. Hello.
If you want to press next. Lovely. Oh, yours is much nicer than mine. So Jess is 19 years old. She's a student and a student ambassador at Hope. And you're from Derry in Northern Ireland. And you apparently love living in Liverpool, which I'm glad to hear. So yeah, I will do my best to kind of depict your student journey. So yeah, if you've got any students who are watching from Northern Ireland, if you want to ask Jess a question, feel free to do so. Okay, so Jess studied her GCSEs and A levels at Foyle College. You have 11 GCSEs from A to C, and you studied geography, history, and health and social care, receiving A, B, and C in those subjects. Oh, that's very good. A lot better than what I got on my A levels. So university. Jess applied for both social work and social policy in 5 different universities across the UK. UCAS was very stressful, but Hope offered an unconditional offer and you famed in March of 2020. So this is something that Hope tends to do with like giving students unconditional offers. Kind of if you display that you're gonna do good academically, we like your application, an unconditional offer is a really good decision. Jess's sixth form advisor helped lots with this and she got assigned teacher in a similar field to write a recommendation. She's just finished her first year in social policy with special educational needs and you lived on campus this year and went to the university. So lots of students do get the option to kind of, every student gets the option to live on campus and then you can also become a student ambassador like Jess, work in kind of these events and get to know other students as part of your work in Hope. So Jess's degree, her degree is combined. They're both in the School of Social Science. So social policy is about the social issues around us, the policies of the government and the critiques, and talk about how they can improve them. And then special educational needs is under disability studies, and they look at how society undermines the impaired person. Jess loves the degree and would highly recommend combined subjects to anyone who is undecided like herself. I do agree with that. It's kind of, combined subjects are great if you really don't know what you want to do or you know that you like two things. So like social policy and special educational needs are two different subjects, but it meant that Jess didn't really have to choose between the two, which is good. And then they kind of feed into each other. The extracurricular activities, something that took up a lot of Jess's time at sixth form. Oh, you're a Highland dancer and teacher? That's fun. Oh, she's much more talented than I am. You also did volunteering in a care home and had a part-time job. Oh, you put me to shame. This change when you came to Liverpool, but you're part of the Dance Society and the Irish Community Care Groups. You also go to the Hope Gym and work for Hope Works, and you'll be interested in Global Hope when it's available. So the Hope Gym, if you don't know, is £25 for the year. So it's really great. If you use it kind of twice, you make your money back. You can access all the gym facilities, the classes, and all the sports equipment and the pitches, which is really good. I'm not a gym person myself, but it is nice to know that other students do use it, which is great. And then Global Hope is an opportunity that students get to kind of help with work in other countries, kind of help with outreach work and helping to kind of do some teaching, do some kind of social work in other countries, which is great. So student ambassador role. Jess has been a student ambassador for the past year, both virtual, like these events, and in real life, doing campus tours from the start of May. Jess was meeting new people and talking about something that she's passionate about, even though we've kind of silenced her today, which I'm very sorry about. So she's passionate about moving to Liverpool and her degree. This job allows her to put her studies first and then work around it. So there are other jobs on campus in every aspect, and you can find more information on that on HopeWorks on the Liverpool Hope website. And so HopeWorks is the kind of website that we use to post any jobs on campus. So you can become a student ambassador like Jess, and kind of get to meet all the prospective students, do events, do campus tours. And then the good thing about jobs on campus is that they are fully flexible. You can completely fit them around your studies, and there's no way that any type of job on campus would make you prioritize work before your studies, which is great. Because if you have an external job, sometimes you can find there's a little bit of conflict. So Jess's future plans, it's a tricky question. But you have a lot of options just doing a combined course. So your current options to think of are Masters in Social Work, policy making for the NHS mental health, special educational needs teaching or social working, research into disabled women and their access to healthcare, or working for a wealth provision charity. They all sound really interesting. We do have a lot of kind of social work opportunities within Hope, and it is good to kind of see there are lots of different like avenues that you can go down with your course. So even if you are kind of undecided even now, it's good that you've still got those options. Because that can kind of be something that in school a lot of teachers want you to know exactly what you want to do with your life. They say if you don't know what you want to do in uni, then you may as well not bother. But even now you can tell that even me and Jess, the ages we are and being in uni, you don't really have to know what you want to do yet. It's all about kind of just figuring out what you like. So conclusion. So yeah, choose the course that has subjects and topics that will interest you, and research the topics you want to study. That is really important, because you want to be interested in what you're learning. There's no point in picking kind of a degree subject if you don't really enjoy it, if you're just good at it, which it is really important that you enjoy and you are interested in your subject. Enjoy your time at university and make use of all the facilities that they have to offer. At university, you've got 3 years to kind of make the most of the period of life you are in now. And I would say to kind of grab as many opportunities as you can, because it's a really specific environment where you have so many opportunities and you have so many connections, and you can really get the most out of university. It's okay to be homesick. All your flatmates will be at the same stage. This is something that some students really struggle with when they first come, which is fine. And I can imagine being from Northern Ireland, it was a little bit harder for you because you were so far away. But it's kind of a transition period where everyone else is in the same boat. You will it will get better and it will ease off. But it's just kind of something that everybody has to go through, which is it's a part of being a student, really. And we hope you've enjoyed Jess's and mine maybe presentation. And thanks for listening to me talk about Jess. So yeah, if anybody has any questions about either of our students' experiences, we'll be here for like about another 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes or so. Just if you've got any questions, want to get them in. If you've got any more direct questions about your courses or anything you need to know, you can send an email to inquiry@hope.ac.uk, and one of our members of staff will get back to you. And yeah, we hope you're enjoying our transition sessions, and getting to really know the university and what it's like to be a student. So yeah. So if you do have any questions, pop them in the Q&A function, and me and Jess will just be kind of on mute. If you've got no more questions, you are free to leave. We're not holding you captive. But we hope you enjoyed our session on our student journeys. So we have had a question that says, did you find a combined degree easier than a single degree? In terms of kind of workload, they are both the same amount of work. You do 50-50. Personally, I found it was not necessarily easier, but it was helpful if I kind of got like stuck on an essay and for one subject, I could kind of pick up my other subject. It's pretty much the same workload. It's just personal preference. I did prefer it because I would have found single honours English to be rather difficult, just because it was a lot of reading, a lot of studying. But I really enjoyed doing a combined degree. And if you kind of want to have a look at the combined degrees we offer, they're all displayed on our website. And that is something you can kind of explore, decide whether you want to add an additional subject onto your degree. So we have had another question, and it says, if I am struggling with my assignments during my degree, are the tutors always on hand to give support? And as Jess has kindly typed, yes, you can see your tutors once a week in a group of 10 to 15 people. And we also have one-to-one tutorials for support once every month. In Jess's subjects, that's something that is kind of university-wide. You can really drop in to see tutors whenever if you're struggling. There is lots of support available if you find that you are having difficulties. And Hope is, as a uni, really just wants you to succeed. So there's different things you can kind of get put in place. You can ask for extensions, you can kind of get any support. There's also kind of essay structure support and more specific research support within our library. Our library also has subject-specific tutors who kind of help students who are having difficulty structuring essays, kind of writing essays, that type of thing. So there is really any type of support you'd need on any level. Thank you for those questions. We're going to stay on for about another 2 minutes. So if you do have any more questions, feel free to ask. If not, you are free to leave. It's really up to you. But again, if you have any kind of burning questions you need to ask, or any more specific difficult questions, you can ask our inquiry email, inquiry@hope.ac.uk.